What's up guys, Raphael here with an update to my 2D game engine that I'm making in the Windows GDI. So, I've been working on this level editor and I just got done implementing a very cool feature. This one was very involved because I had to figure out a way to switch between different layers, or the Z order is what it's referred to. The Z order is what gets drawn behind or in front of a particular sprite. So we've got 3 layers. We can have more than that, but we got a background layer, we got a main layer, and we got a foreground layer. So now with my level editor, I can actually flip between those layers and make some really cool stuff. So I've improved some of the code, as you can see here, because of this whole switching between layers business. I was able to get the code to load a level. Now it just looks like this. This is way more elegant than it was before. Before we had like 3-4 loops with all this bunch of stuff in it, and now it's just this. This looks really nice right here. So, with that being said, and the way I did that was I came into Sprite and I created a class object. I wanted to create a vector of vectors, but it was getting really very tedious having to initialize it. The syntax was really weird, so this was the simplest way to do it, was to create an object and then associate a Sprite 2D class object to that. So then we can have multiple objects of that same object, and that worked out extremely well. So very happy that I did that. Over here I made some changes as well. You can see right here we're loading the level. I've also rearranged the way the level is loaded. So we're going to go ahead and compile this. And there we go. Here's our lovable characters. And yeah, I can see the whole screen here. And I'm recording this with OBS Studio. So remember, as always, if there's any stuttering, it is OBS's fault. So we're going to do a little bit of fun editing here. Let's go back down to where we originally were. And we are gonna go ahead, we're gonna bring down the girl. And let's see, we're gonna put her, let's put her right here. And then we are going to enter developer mode. And then you'll see, as usual, I've done some changes to developer mode. I can now, the developer sprite or the bucket sprite no longer shows up unless we specifically need it. So now we can just select the sprite that we want to work with. And let's say we wanted to pick this one. I just click it. It disappears to let me know that it's selected. And now I've got a copy of that in my holder. And I can go ahead and place one here, place one there. I can also now move the map by holding Control and the arrow keys. So that was a better solution than I had before. So let's go ahead and let's delete those. I can still delete just like this. And now you'll see here on the top left corner, you'll see something that says Z order. And that is the current layer that we are working with. So as you can see, only the layers that are in that particular layer get highlighted. So this little welcome sign right here, this one is actually in the layer at the background layer. So if I were to hold Z, and if you can look at the top, you can see how I can cycle through the layers now. So I go back to 0, and you can see this becomes selected because now we're in that layer. So now that we're in that background layer, we're going to go back to the main layer because, there we go, so that we can select a tile from here. And we are going to go ahead and do something really cool. let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, this looks good. I'm just flipping. There we go. We're gonna place this tile. Let's see. We're gonna place it. We're gonna place it right about here. Let's just use Shift to kind of nudge it in place, right about there. But we're gonna switch back to the background layer. So now we're in the background layer. So we are going to place that tile. Actually, let's place this one in the foreground layer, and that would be layer number 2. We're going to hit space. That automatically places the layer. And now we're going to place another tile right here. We're going to change the color. Maybe red. I think red is good. Yeah, red is good. And we're going to go to the background layer, which is 0. As you can see up in the lower left corner how I'm switching between them. So now that we are 0, I'm going to hit spacebar to place it. I might want to nudge it a little bit. I don't know. Just kind of get them closer. There we go. And we're going to head back into play mode. And you can see right there. I don't know what that was, but oh yes, of course, our view got moved back to the main sprite. Okay, so now by doing that, it just seemed. Look at that. Now that particular sprite is actually behind, because it's behind the layer, and now this one is actually in front. So my collision system only looks at the sprites that are on the same layer as our player sprites. So these layers are not checked for collision, so we can just, you know, go by them. So that gives it to game that 2D effect. I mean, that kind of gives it depth. Now, if I want to be a little bit more creative, I could probably extend the sprite sheet for these bricks here and make this a darker color, and that way anything that looks a bit darker seems like it's more in the foreground. So we're gonna do something, let's see. Yeah, so that's the latest feature I implemented, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's move our little pop blocks. Usually I also got a different background on here. Let's see. We've got our lovable, this is of course same thing. Let's see, let's grab a copy. This particular item here is in the foreground layer, so we're going to enter developer mode and we're going to switch to background. And you'll see that I can select this fence, and I can probably make it smaller. I'm going to select it. This automatically selects it. And I'm going to make this fence a little bit shorter. So there we go. We're doing that. Oh, there we go. That's because that tile didn't get deleted, because that's part of our fence there. So now that we've made our fence smaller, we're going to cycle through the tiles to see if we can find the top left corner right there. And it looks a little messed up, but we're going to go with it. Very carefully, because I haven't really implemented error correcting here. And we're going to place that right there. I'm also going to take, let's see if we can find, oh, there we go, perfect. We're going to make this, we're going to add like a fence area right here, so that when our sprite goes back there, it's got like this fence effect. So we're going to kind of nudge this in place right here, right about there. Let's see, kind of center it. Okay, that's good. And this is in the foreground, so we're going to put it in the, let's see, we're going to put it in the background layer. That would be number 0. And you'll see that the minute I place it, it goes behind the tile. So we're going to go ahead. There we go. And we put a kind of like a fence thing there. So let's create a little bit more depth, and let's put some of these on the foreground now, right here, foreground layer. And I think that this is good. I could be wrong. I'm gonna try and nudge it in place. Or actually, I'm just gonna build a much bigger fence right here. Just gonna put another fence right here. Let's cycle through the layer here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I could go higher. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I think that one's gonna overlap, but you know what? Would I be able to move this? Oh, they're gonna overlap. See, they're gonna overlap. I don't want that. You know what? We're gonna do it like that. Screw it. Just for the demonstration of this example. There we go. I think I might get away with, oh yes, I can. Perfect. Actually, we'll do that. We'll just leave it like that. So we're gonna place that one. And we just want to make like a little shorter one right there. Actually, it's not too big. So we are gonna go ahead and cycle the other way right here. That looks very bad because of the way our fence is designed. I'm actually gonna go back and yeah, we're gonna make it wider. This is not a very good tile bitmap. So there we go. Actually, what I should be doing is this, because the way this is designed to work, this fence is not very big, so we're improvising here. There we go. It's gonna look like crap, but yeah, there we go. That is now on the foreground layer. So when we jump on there, it's gonna look like we are right in front of it. So we're gonna go back to play mode. You'll see that our fence is now way shorter here. And you can see that moving platform over there go right behind that fence, because that fence is actually in the foreground layer. So let's watch that again. Check that out. Look at that. Nice. Very, very cool. So we're going to jump on that. We're going to go ahead and ride the platform here into that fence. Look at that. Beautiful. So we're behind this fence now. And you can see that now the other fence, because of the way we made that layer. So it gives that feeling of, you know, adds that depth. That's what Z order is. You know, what sprites get drawn, the order in which the sprites are drawn. So look at that. That's awesome. This is getting better and better the more I work on this. And also really nice background. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue forward. We're going to do another little example. And let's see. How about here? I'm going to go in developer mode right here. And we are going to we're going to switch back to the main layer. Thank God I remembered to do that. Because if I click anywhere outside, that's undefined behavior, and we will definitely get some kind of error. So we're going to kind of nudge this one over like on the side right here, and we're going to make it blue. Blue is a good color. And we're going to cycle the bitmap tile so that we end up with, let's see, this one. Perfect. Now we're going to go, let's see, foreground or background. Let's go to the background. Let's put this in the background there. So we're just going to build up. We're going to make this one really, really tall. It's going to go all the way up. I think that's high enough. I think that's high enough. And we're going to complete it at the tip. And there we go. And we're going to go back to play mode. And now we've constructed that awesome thing. Look how our platform just goes right in front of that. So again, adds that illusion of depth. No, it could be if it was needs to be darker in color. If it's something that's in the background, you want to kind of tone down the color of it so that it looks like it's in the back. Because right now it looks like it's kind of in the front, but it's not really in the front. So that's cool. Look at that. So let's see. I think that's about it. I've been making, like, for example, this one is in the main layer here, so we can't go through this. So let's see. Let's take a little stroll around this level. I haven't really changed much. I just been working on the level editor and improving the code a bit. And of course, fiddling with the background. I'm always changing the backgrounds. Yeah, looking great. This is looking great. I'm loving every minute of this. So that is the update I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And when I have another one, I will definitely post a video. I'm going to be correcting undefined behavior now in this, and then think on what I'm going to be doing next. So let's see where we go from here. Bye-bye.